Yu-Gi-Oh! An incredibly complex card game with tens of thousands of cards. However, what if each set was separated from the rest of the massive card pool and your choices when building a deck were extremely limited? In this series, in order to learn Yu-Gi-Oh! From the ground up, I will be embarking on an adventure through the history of the card game with Jeexx. In each episode, we will have access to all the cards in a select product, and using only the cards in that product, both of us will build a deck before playing a best of 3 match to determine the winner of the episode. We will move in a chronological order in the series, and with each new episode we will forget the cards of the past in order to experience something brand new. We hope you enjoyed this adventure through Yu-Gi-Oh! And its evolution with us. Welcome to the historic Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning journey.
What is up, ladies and fellas, and welcome back to the Historic Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning Journey. And this time we are here with Dimension of Chaos, as well as, I pressed the wrong button, Astral Pack 8. There you go. So, the final Astral Pack, and we're at the end of 2015. So, let's take a look what the set has to offer. So, once again, we have a bunch of support for already existing archetypes. We haven't seen Super Heavy Samurai played yet, but I promise you that will happen at some point. We have more Performer Pals here as well. Fluffles get Fluffle Wings here. DDs get more stuff as well as Raid Raptors. Performages also here. Blushfire, a really good card because basically always just guarantees you get an additional body on the field. Also some Black Wings here as well as Majespecters. The complete archetype comes out here. Basically just a bunch of wind spellcasters, monsters with scales varying from 2 to 5. And they search other Majespecter cards on normal special summon, except for their boss monster, Kieran, which either player's turn bounces back to your hand a pendulum monster in your monster zone and a monster your opponent controls. And Kieran also cannot be, none of them can be targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effects. That's just Majespecters in general. I read that as a skilled rat magician. Pot of the Forbidden, obviously not really relevant as a card otherwise, but by including it, you get access to Pot of Greed, which is pretty good. We also get Odd Eyes, Void of Dragon, Scarlet Red Dragon, Archfiend, alongside other stuff for the archetypes already mentioned that come out here. Majespecter, Paladin, the Ascending Dragon Slayer is just a good Xyz for pendulums in general, because it gets you a search on summon, although it does occur at the end of your turn, but still pretty neat. And then most of the stuff is just support, spell and trap support for the archetypes, as tends to be the case at this point. But we do have also stuff here like Blazing Mirror Force and Painful Escape, which is relevant because of the name, because it gives you painful choice if you want that. We also get some more Cosmos here, as well as 2 new Kaijus and a Kaiju Capture mission. But mostly it's like Majespecters and DDs are the big theme in the set itself, as well as obviously the Performa cards, Mages and Pals. Astral Pack 8 contains a lot of powerful stuff here. Trishula, MST, Fiendish Chain, Instant Fusion here as well. Book of the Eclipse, I guess, is okay. Machine Dupe, if you can use it. Black Horn of Heaven. A bunch of pretty good stuff. But yeah, after that we're going to OTS pack, which there are a lot of. Basically, like all the way until Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Like that's the tournament sets or tournament packs that we have to play with. But that is the set. Hopefully you enjoyed the set breakdown. I don't know if there was any content in what I was yapping about, but a lot of stuff here. It's a pretty good set overall, and I'm looking forward to playing it. So I will see you all in the deck building section next.
Okay, so we're doing Dimension of Chaos. Dimension of Chaos is... It's a fairly strong set overall. It doesn't really introduce anything that I think stuck for a long time. Like, it doesn't introduce more hand traps. It doesn't introduce more generally good traps or anything of the sort. It does, however, I think have the first proper wave of support for DDDs. And it also had some more support for Cosmos, although this wave support, if I remember correctly, only really introduced Dark Destroyer, which we're not going to be seeing this time around. There's also, obviously, there's like dark contracts that you're obviously going to be seeing DDDs play well into the future, specifically like Gate here and Swamp King. And then there's some support for, I think, Odd Eyes. Odd Eyes is in here. Majespects come out in this set. It's a pretty good set overall. Like, there's a lot of stuff in here that will be played for a long time, but that doesn't really impact the general power level of, I guess, the closed format. Because up until now, we've had like Droll and Lockbird and Effect Veiler and Ghost Org and Snow Rabbit being the only real hand traps, but we're gonna soon be in a position where we will have another really powerful hand trap that will most likely end up warping. As long as there is the words Ghost, Blossom, or Ash in the set, any one of those will result in us having to rethink our whole deck. But yeah, I am playing Fluffles this time around. I've been threatening to play Fluffles / Frightfurs for a really long time now, mostly because of the fact that they're one of the fusion archetypes that I like fairly a lot. And this is a OTK deck with a lot of consistency boosting cards in it, with the intention of just digging as deep as possible. And as you can see, we have Pot of Greed in here as well. Pot of Greed is in here due to having Pot of the Forbidden, which I am playing a copy of just to have access to it. But yes, let's start out with Edgem Chain. It's just a fusion material monster. It has the effect when it declares an attack, you can add another copy of itself to your hand. And if this card is sent from your hand or field to the graveyard, you can add a Frightfur card from your deck to your hand, which only in this case is only Factory, Fusion, or March. Edgem Sabers, it has Plague Splitter Zombies effect, except it's not going to be a tuner, which kind of sucks, and doesn't banish itself, which is pretty good. Tomahawk, it's a Prisma, Elemental Hero Prisma. It sends another Edgem monster from my deck to the graveyard and gets its name. Fluffle Bear, one of the actually really important cards for the deck, has the effect of you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard and set a Toy Vendor directly from your deck to your spell and trapped card zone. And if this card is on the field, you contribute it and then target a polymerization in your graveyard and add it to your hand. And you can only use one of the effects per turn and only once that turn. And Toy Vendor is a very key card for the functionality of Fluffles. Once per turn, you can discard one card, draw one card, and show it. Then if it is a Fluffle monster, you can special summon one monster from your hand. Otherwise, discard the card you drew. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add one Edgem Sabers or Fluffle monster from your deck to your hand. So, this card pretty much is the centerpiece of the entire deck, I would say. Like, without this card, the deck doesn't really work. And there's a bunch of cards in the whole archetype that support you playing it and that gain things from you playing it. Then we have Fluffle Cat as a one-off. If this card is sent to the graveyard as fusion material, you can add a polymerization from your graveyard to your hand. Fluffle Dog, this is the normal summon. You can summon it. You search a Edgem Sabers or a Fluffle monster to your from your deck to your hand. Now there's a problem with this card. It says Edgem Sabers instead of Edgem Monster, which is a really big downside for Dog. But it's also on special summon. And it's only once per turn. Fluffle Mouse, during your main phase, you can special summon up to 2 copies of Fluffle Mouse from your deck, and this can only be used once while this is face up on the field. You cannot special summon monster from the extra deck this turn, except for Frightfur monsters. And Fluffle Owl, when this card is normal spell summon, you can add a polymerization from your deck to your hand, and you can pay 500 life points to fusion summon a Frightfur fusion monster using cards from your hand or field as materials. You can only use one of these effects per turn, and once that turn. Fluffle Wings. If this card is in your graveyard and you control a Toy Vendor, you can banish this card from your graveyard. Then target one Fluffle monster in your graveyard and banish it. And if you do, draw one card. Then you can send one Toy Vendor you control to the graveyard. And if you do, draw one card. So essentially, you want a normal summon Dog. You want to search for Wings or Bear, depending on if you have either of them in your hand. You discard, or if you have Toy Vendor in hand. You discard Bear for Vendor if you don't have Vendor in hand. And then you discard Wings for Vendor, draw one card, and hopefully summon something. And then you use Wings to banish itself and the bear that you send to the graveyard, to then pop the Vendor and draw 2 cards, or essentially draw 3 cards, and also pop Vendor's second effect. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add one Edgem Sabers or Fluffle monster from your deck to your hand. And then you basically get three draws with a Toy Vendor, and 2 with 1 draw with Toy Vendor, 2 draws with Wings, and then you get a search off with Vendor. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's not consistent at all. Like if you happen to have all the pieces in hand, it's pretty good and it's gonna go and it's gonna roll, especially with like Pot of Greed in your deck, but you're unlikely to hit all three of those cards at the same time. Pot of the Forbidden. You can activate one of these effects on flip. It's a level 10 tribute, like it's a tribute summon monster with a flip effect. You can activate one of these effects, draw 2 cards, return all spell traps on the field to the hand, destroy all monsters your opponent controls. Look at your opponent's hand and shuffle 1 card from their hand into the deck. So basically, it's just Pot of Greed, Giant Grenade, Raigeki, and Forceful Sentry. Now, funny thing, one of these cards is no longer forbidden, so it should not be called Pot of the Forbidden anymore. It should be called Pot of the Somewhat Forbidden cards. Bad joke. Sphere Kuribo, I don't know what this card does. I put it in here for filler. When opponent's monster declares an attack, you can send this card from hand to the graveyard and change that monster to a defense position. Okay. Frightfur Factory, you can banish 1 polymerization spell card or fusion spell card from your graveyard, except the fusion wave motion. Fusion summon 1 Frightfur monster from your graveyard, from your extra deck, using monsters you control from your hand or your side of the field. Wait, I thought this was also in the graveyard. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 card, one of your banished Frightfur Fusion, and add it to your hand. So basically, it allows you to recur your Miracle Fusions for Frightfurs. Fusion summon 1 Frightfur monster from your extra deck by banishing both fusion materials listed on it. By banishing fusion materials listed on it from your field or graveyard. Then we have Monster Reborn to target 1 and summon 1 from the grave. 2 MST if I want to pop like my own toy vendor or pop something Weebfox has. 3 copies of Polymerization because I need these in the deck. 3 copies of Pot of Greed, self-explanatory. Shuffle Reborn because I think this card might actually be useful. It has the effect of if you control no monsters, target 1 monster in your graveyard. Special summon it, but it has its effects negated. Also, banish it during the end phase. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 card you control, shuffle it into the deck, then draw 1 card. Also, during the end phase of this turn, banish 1 card from your hand. I think this effect might come into play. Like, I can see me shuffling, like, a card that is completely dead in my hand, like, be it part of Forbidden or Sphere Kuribo, or even maybe Frightfur Factory on turn 1 after discarding Shuffle Reborn for Toy Vendor. I can totally see that happening. I explained Toy Vendor. Frightfur March. When an opponent's spell trap or monster effect is activated that targets a Frightfur monsters you control, negate the activation. And if you do, destroy that card. Then you can send one of the targeted Frightfur monsters to the graveyard. And if you do, spell summon 1 level 8 or higher Frightfur monster from your extra deck. During your next end phase, banish the monster spell summoned by this effect. So basically, it allows you to kind of rank up your Frightfurs. Like if your opponent's targeting your sheep, you can summon out a Sabertooth, or you can summon out, I think Leo is a 7 actually. Yeah, you can't summon out Leo, but you can summon out a Sabertooth or Chimera, which I am not playing. Then we have Grand Horn of Heaven. During your opponent's main phase, when they would special summon a monsters, negate the summon. And if you do, destroy that monster, then your opponent draws 1 card and you end the main phase. So it's not that bad. It's a pretty good card overall. I don't think it's gonna really do anything, but let's say Weebfox has some insane combo deck and I happen to have this. I'm obviously gonna rather force him to end his turn end his main phase 1 immediately so that he can't kill me in battle phase. It's gonna be mostly irrelevant for the fact that like if I hard break on this deck, I might not play anything on turn 1. But we'll see. Then we have Agent Chain. As a 3rd copy, we then have Gamma Seal, a Kaiju card. This is the first time we have Kaijus, I think. Actually, no, I think I played a Kaiju at some point, but didn't summon it. And I did not have any intentions of doing so. You can spell summon this card from your hand to your opponent's side of the field in attack position by tributing 1 monster they control. Actually, never mind about that comment I made earlier. Gamma Seal is like the Kaiju. This is the weakest Kaiju in terms of attack stats. And because you summon it in attack on your opponent's side of the field by tributing a card they control, you want to play this one. This is the one you want to play. None of the other Kaijus are weak enough where like the most basic monsters could possibly run them over. So you want to play Gamma Seal because Gamma Seal is weak as hell. Which in turn makes it strong. It's kind of funny. All Kaijus have an effect where they use like counters, which we are not playing. When your opponent activates a card or effect, except When a card or effect except Gameciel, the Sea Turtle, quick effect, you can remove 2 Kaiju counters from anywhere on the field and negate the activation if you do banish the card. Like, this effect itself, like, if you play pure Kaijus, this is pretty good, actually. So it's kind of funny that Gameciel has the lowest stats, which is balanced out by this effect, but it's also the one that everybody plays because it's the weakest and you can kill it. Poor Gameciel. Can't win at all. Well, I guess he's winning the whole time. Never mind. Gradle Alligator. Gradles are a new archetype that comes out in Dimensional Chaos with the effect of if this card in your monster zone is destroyed by battle or spell effect and sent to your graveyard, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls and equip this card to that target. While this card is equipped to a monster by this effect, you take control of that monster. When this card leaves the field, destroy the equipped monster. And then Eagle has the same effect, minus the part where it's destroyed by battle or monster effect. And then we have Instant Fusion, whereas like this is just by battle or spell effect. Instant Fusion to summon out Sheep. I think Sheep's the only one. Yeah, I don't think Bears. Yeah. You summon out Sheep and you can immediately fuse Sheep into Sabretooth, for example. Another copy of Monster Reborn, Mystical Space Typhoon, and Fiendish Chain, because we have Aging Chain in the set. Then we have Frightfur Bear. Frightfur Bear has the effect of when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can equip that monster with this card and it gains 1000 attack for each. It does not have an upper limit. Then there's also the requirements, which are Edgem Sabers and Fluffle Bear, which means that we have to play both if we want to summon it. Then we have Frightfur Leo, which we cannot summon because I don't have Saw in here. And I kind of forgot that when I built this deck. But yeah, it has the effect of you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls and destroy it, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the destroyed monster's original attack, and you can only use this effect of Leo once per turn, and this card cannot attack your opponent directly during the turn you activate this effect. Sabretooth. Sabretooth is probably the best card in this entire extra deck. It has the effect requirements of 1 Frightfur Fusion monster, which makes it kind of difficult to summon at this point, and then 1 or more Fluffle and or Edgem monsters. When this card is fusion summoned, you can target 1 Frightfur monster in your graveyard and special summon it, which means that you get to summon out the Frightfur fusion monster that you used for summoning it, and then all of your Frightfur monsters you control gain 400 attack. And if this card was fusion summoned using 3 or more fusion materials, it cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. This thing is kind of big. This is legitimately, I was kind of waiting for Sabretooth to come out alongside Wings, because I felt like, okay, this is the part where you really want to play these for a moment. And then later on, we get a couple of more good cards for them. Frightfur Sheep requires Chain and Fluffle monster. If this card battles, your opponent's cards and effects cannot be activated until the end of the damage step. And if this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, or if this card in your possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, and sent to the graveyard, you can spell summon this card, and if you do, it gains 800 attack, and you can only use this effect of Frightfur Sheep once per turn. And then we have Frightfur Tiger. It requires an Edgem Sabers and 1 or more Fluffle monsters. When this card is fusion summoned, you can target cards on the field up to the number of fusion materials used for this card's fusion summon and destroy them. And all Frightfur monsters you control gain 300 attack for each Fluffle and Frightfur monster you control. This is preferably you would go Frightfur Tiger, pop stuff, use Frightfur Tiger for material for Sabretooth, summon Sabretooth, use Sabretooth to summon Tiger, and now you have Tiger and Sabretooth both out, and Tiger is buffing all of your fucking monsters by at least 600. That would be the play that you really want. And then obviously would rather have an extra Fluffle monster to give him all 900. Tiger is pretty strong. The destruction effect is kind of scary overall. And then we have Frightfur Wolf, Agem Sabers, and 1 or more Fluffle monsters, and this card can attack for each fusion material monster used for its fusion summon. But yeah, that about does it. It is a fairly strong sorry. It's a fairly strong set overall. I forgot about Gameciel being in this, so my comment about this set not having any impact in the long term is kind of irrelevant. There's also obviously a few cards that we'll probably see play. Gradles maybe not so much, but I think Gradles are fairly strong as I'm gonna put Alligator in my deck. I'm just gonna set turn 1 Alligator, and if my opponent's being careless, boom. Thanks for the monster, my guy. But yeah, anyhow, good luck with the games.
And guys and gals, welcome back. A rare occurrence where I'm not just recording the set breakdown and deck breakdown back to back, but here is what we have cooked up for today.
for Dimension of Chaos. So we're playing Majespecters with a little bit of a performage package as well. But without further ado, let's go through the deck and see what we are working with. So first we have two Kirin, and before I explain Kirin and basically any of the Majespecter cards, all of them are pendulum monsters that have scales from either 2 to 5. They don't have an effect when they are on the pendulum zones, but they have special monster effects that happen when they are special or normal summoned, except for Kirin. But all of them share the same effect, where they can be destroyed or targeted by your opponent's card effects. So that is what you have to know about Majespecter. So I will not be explaining like everything like that in detail, and we can get through this smoother. But Kirin is their big boss monster. It's a level 6, so it needs to be tribute summoned, and it doesn't fit between the usual scales, but we'll get to that later. And the effect of Kirin is it's a 2k beater, 2k defender. During either player's turn, so it's a quick effect, you can target a pendulum monster in your monster zone and one monster your opponent controls and return them to the hand. And this is a once per turn. And obviously you can also use this to bounce itself. So you can basically, as long as you have scales to resummon Kirin, you can summon Kirin, and then you'll have one bounce on your opponent's turn every single turn, which is very good. And Kirin has spent some time on the list as well. We have a third copy of it inside as well, but like I said, the pendulum scales of the actual Majespecters, which is like half of our deck, don't allow us to summon Kirin. We don't really want to be tribute summoning him, so I don't actually know, that's why we're only playing it at 2 copies. Plus we can get it to our hand pretty easily with a lot of searches. And speaking of searches, we then have Nekomata, Bunpaku, Yara, and Kyubi. Kyubi and Nekomata are scale 2, and Yara and Bunpaku are scale 5. And all of them have varying stat lines, but basically the same effect, where when they are normal or special summoned, they search out a Majespecter card type. So Nekomata searches you any Majespecter card from your deck, but this happens during the end phase. Bunpaku and Yara and Kyubi, their searches happen immediately, but they're limited to a card type. Kyubi search out a trap, Yara search out a spell, and Bunpaku searches out a monster. So yeah, that's those explained. So that's our whole Majespecter package. Basically, this is going to be a control deck, where we're summoning these, getting more resources to our hand, and then using them on the field for the special spell traps, as we will discuss a little bit later. We need to have these basically as fuel on our field. But then for the pendulum monsters that are not Majespecters, first we have Luster Pendulum, the Dracoslayer. Very iconic pendulum monster. It's a level 4 tuner. Its monster effect is basically just limited to summoning Dracoslayer monsters as a tuner, but the pendulum effect is very powerful. Once per turn, if you have a card in your other pendulum zone, you can destroy that card, and if you do, add one card from your deck to your hand with the same name as that card. Basically, it just means that you get to reapply the scale, so if it's a soft once per turn, you can use it you can use multiple times, or what is the case in most cases, you just pop the scale to get a summonable monster into your extra deck, and then you still get to put the scale back and thin your deck. It's really good. That's why we're running it at 3, and also it allows our couple level 8 synchros, as we will discuss later. Then we have 2 Archfiend Eccentric. I was considering bumping this up to 3, but I didn't really know what I would want to cut for it, as we'll discuss this card in a little bit. Eccentric is here to actually give us a high scale. It's a level 7, not a level 7, level 3 itself, but it has a scale 7, which means that we can actually summon Kirin with Eccentric. And also it has just 2 good effects. Monster effect, you contribute it to target a monster on the field, and then the pendulum scale effect is you can target another spell trap and pop it and discard. But it's good to have access to basically any pops that we need with our normal summon if need be, but also just to have access to a high scale so we can actually start summoning Kirin every single turn. Then we have a single copy of Samurai Cavalry of Reptier, and it's an okay card. It basically just destroys
non-pendulum monsters with its effect when it battles them, but it's mostly here because I wanted something. Gagaga Samurai is not a good card, but I wanted to fill my extra deck with something, and this card was in the set and it was good enough. So I included it as one copy just to get access to Gaga Samurai to fill up our extra deck, and also to have access to just something if Jeexx is... I don't know what Jeexx is actually going to be playing this time around, but if he's playing something that summons like some big dudes, we don't really have a lot of like... we don't have a lot of big things, obviously. We like outside of stuff in our extra deck, and if something is protected by targeting, like if we were playing a mirror, it would actually be miserable because there's non-pendulums. But if Jeexx is playing something, I think I told him I'm playing Majespecter. I'm not sure actually. But basically, if Jeexx is playing something big, like we can use this to run over them, which is pretty neat. Then for our performance package, we have 3 Plushfire. Plushfire is an easy include. It's basically just a free body on the field, and it gives us a level 4, which goes into our all of our Xyz monsters. Basically, the pendulum effect means that you can special summon this to take 500 from your pendulum zone when a performance monster is destroyed by any means, and then as a monster effect, if it's destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon it another performance except for Plushfire from your hand or deck. So it basically just gives us a bunch of free bodies, which is very good. Then we have Mirror Conductor. Mirror Conductor is here mostly to have the other performance card that if we want a pendulum monster, if we want to fill our extra deck, Mirror Conductor is probably the best one. The pendulum effect is you can basically swap the attack and defense to be whichever is lower on a monster your opponent has that has been special summoned. It's specifically unfortunate for special summons, but it's still okay. And as a monster effect, you can target a fast monster in the field to flip its attack and defense to take 500. And it's okay. It's mostly there just as filler, though, to have just another performance name. A 3 damage juggler. We can proc our own performance because they deal a little bit of bird damage if we want with this. But also it works as a Kuribo, and then it can be banished from our graveyard to add a performance monster from our deck to our hand. We want to be filtering through our deck, and that's what mostly we want. It's basically here, the effect to protect you from damage is fine, but that's mostly just a way to get this into the grave because we don't have other really means to get it in the grave. And then from the grave, we can just use that banish to get stuff like Blushfire into our hand, which is what we're actually playing it for. And then we just have Hat Tricker because we're playing a Pendulum archetype. I figured like it's going to be pretty easy to special summon this out of our hand. And since half of our Majespecters are level 3s, and we want to be summoning these 4s out because we don't really have access to any like playable 3s by any legacy rule means in this set. So Hat Tricker is just a free special summon that we can use to then go into our extra deck plays. The second part of the effect doesn't matter. And part of the Forbidden, we can set it for the memes. It basically has like the it has Pot of Greed in it. It has Giant Trunade in it. It has Raigeki. And it has Forceful Sentry. It's a 2 tribute set. We will probably not be setting it if we don't want to go for the memes. It's here to give us access to Pot of Greed. And then I was earlier talking about, bro, this is going to be a long one. I'll try to speed up. I was talking about how we want to have a constant supply of Majespecters on our field for our spell traps. And the reason for that is that all of these... all of our, except for, I mean, even our field spell, all of our spell traps require us to tribute a wind spellcaster monster and then get an effect. So we'll go over the effects. So for Majespecter Storm, which we're running a single copy of, 2 more in the side, but it's not a quick play spell. We can only use this during our turn, which is kind of an issue. for tributing I'll just call it tributing a Majespecters, because that's gonna be what we're doing here. For tributing a Majespecter, you can shuffle a monster your opponent controls back to the deck. The Cyclones, which is a quick play spell, which why we're rather playing this. Third one in this side as well here. By tributing a Majespecter, we can destroy a monster. I'll cover the traps here first because it makes more sense. 2 Tornado, a third one inside as well. Like by tributing a Majespecter, we get to banish a card. So it's a trap, but obviously this is a quick play, so it's kinda does the same thing, but obviously banishing is better. But just in case we need to do it immediate, like, it's nice to also have Cyclone. And then finally, Tempest, which is probably, I would say, the best one. A counter trap, and when a monster would be spell summoned or a monster effect is activated, the second part obviously the more relevant one, by tributing a Majespecter, we negate summon or activation and destroy the card. So basically, all of them obviously have their like respective Majespecters. Majespecter in the art, but basically this means that as long as we have a Majespecter on the field, like Jeexx has to respect our back row, because like we have pops, we have banishes, we have negates. Obviously, Storm is something that's only up during your turn, and that's why we have only one of them. But obviously, spinning back to the deck is still really good. And then the card that I didn't talk about yet is our field spell, Majesty's Pegasus, which gives all our Majespecter monsters in the field 300 attack and defense, which is decent because like their stat lines aren't great, but this is not going to make them crazy. The more relevant part is the second part, which is you contribute a wind spellcaster type monster to special summon a level 4 or lower Majespecter from your deck. This also means that we get to normal one of our cards, get the summon effect and fetch off. We get to tribute that, we get to fetch something else. All of them are hard once per turn though, so you can't go for the same one, or you can, but assuming you summon it during that turn, it's probably not smart. So, which it basically just doubles our searches and also gives us fuel into the extra deck. It's a really good field spell. That's why we're maxing out on it. 3 Pot of Greed, probably don't have to explain that. As for the side deck, most of them are just extra cards, but additionally we have a couple MSTs here if Jeexx playing a lot of back row, 3 Gamma Seal if there's something that we can't get over with. And obviously this is really good with Kirin, because we distribute whatever Jeexx has to summon Gamma Seal. We use Kirin to bounce Gamma Seal and Kirin back to our hand, and obviously because we are the owner of Gamma Seal, although it's on Jeexx's board, it still goes back to our hand, which means that we can just use it back every single turn. It's a really powerful 2-card combo, I think. And then finally we have a few Mirror Force here. Blazing Mirror Force here burns both of us when it pops. It's a Mirror Force that also then burns both of you, but you get burned first, so you don't want to die to the amount of damage. And then Storming Mirror Force, which bounces all the attack position monsters back to the hand instead of destroying them. As for the extra deck though, I don't think we've seen any of these cards. First we have Magister Paladin, the Ascendant Raikou Slayer, probably going to be the one that we see the most. It just takes 2 level 4 Pendulum monsters on Exit Summon. It gives you a search during the end phase of a Pendulum monster. And then once per turn you can detach a material from the Scottish Special Summon a Phrase Up Dragon Slayer Pendulum monster from the extra deck, but it cannot be used as material from an Exit Summon. Basically this just means that if Luster Pendulum ends up in our extra deck, we can use this to summon it out and then use that to make synchro plays, because it prevents us from using it for Xyz. It's still like, it's a decently okay body, and it gives you more deck thinning and access to pretty explosive synchro plays. Now unfortunately it's not a Majespecter name, but still, like, if need be, we can use it for our Majespecter spell traps to tribute it, because it is a wind spellcaster. Sorry, it's not actually, it's a wind dragon. I can't even use it for that, even if I wanted to. I completely overlooked that. Well, we will not be using it then, even if push comes to shove. That's my fault. Performance Trapeze Magician might come up. Obviously, all of our performages are spellcasters as well. So a lot of ways to go into Trapeze Magician. 2500 attack are Outside of our synchros, actually the best body that we have access to. You never take damage equal to, if the damage equal would be less than or equal to this card's attack, so we can only get punched for a lot. And we saw Jeexx play this, I think, I can't remember which episode, but in one episode for sure. And then during either player's maybe once, you can do this one to target a physical attack with a monster the turn player controls. And it can't, unfortunately, do it on itself. And it can attack twice, but will be destroyed at the end of the battle phase. So you can use this removal if you're not afraid of your opponent just punching through you for a million. And then you get to special summon a performance monster from the deck. If this card gets sent to the graveyard by your opponent's card. Gaga Samurai, it can make a Gaga attack twice, and then you can make this card the attack target if your opponent is attacking some other card, but you will then turn this into defense before performing damage calculation. It's not great, but it is a playable exist that we have, and who knows, maybe we can go for a game with a double attacker that hits for then 38 total if your opponent's completely open. We're playing the control deck, so we're not really worried about that, but being able to swing that amount of life points might come up, so just in case. Then we have Ignis of Prominence. Blasting Draco Slayer was limited for quite a while. It's a pretty good synchro. We will obviously be making this with Luster Pendulum with another level 4. It's generic, but it needs the non-tuner to also be a Pendulum monster. And once per turn, you can target a Pendulum monster on the field or one card in the Pendulum zone and destroy it. And then if you do, you get to shuffle a card back into the deck. So if your opponent is playing Pendulums as well, you can... Instead of popping one of your own things, you get to pop one of theirs and then also shuffle a card in the field back to the deck. But also you can just pop one of your own spells to get to shuffle back. And then once per turn, you can spell summon a Draco Slayer monster from your deck in defense position, but it can be used as material for a synchro summon. So whereas Majespecter Paladin prevents you from then using the card for further Xyz plays, Ignis of Prominence is kind of the other one, where it summons it from your deck instead of extra deck, and it prevents you from using it for synchro summons, except for Xyz summons. And then finally, thanks to Eccentric, we have Scarlet Dread Dragon Archfiend, which is the new retrain of RTA, and definitely the best one. Becomes RDA while on the field or in the graveyard, and once per turn you get to pop as many spell summon effect monsters on the field as possible, as long as they have attack less than or equal to this card, and burn your opponent for 500 for each. It's just a mass pop. It's really big. It's very good. If we want to go for more damage, then we can go for RDA, and in a lot of cases, I guess RDA would also be better than Ignis of Providence for against a non-pendulum deck. And then if we get to pop and spin 2 of Jeexx cards, then obviously Ignis of Providence is going to be pretty good. But holy, that was an 18 minutes deck breakdown. I am so sorry. A lot of stuff to talk about. I think this is the first proper pendulum deck that I'm actually playing, because I think the only time before was Klee, which was very simple, because literally just you wait for towers and then build towers. But this time we're actually like doing proper pendulum stuff. We're going to be pendulum summoning a lot, hopefully, and then we're just going to try to control the board. But yeah, I need to find a way to make these shorter, because 19 minutes is crazy for a deck breakdown. Hopefully you don't mind. Thank you so very much for watching the deck breakdowns, and I will see y'all in the dueling zone next. What is up, ladies and lads? Welcome back to History Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning Journey, this time with Dimension of Chaos and Astral Pack number 8. The final Astral Pack before we get to, I don't even know what they are these days, but whatever.
Official tournament packs.
Oh yeah, OTS packs. Which are probably there's like number 16 or something is the newest.
I think there's 20.
Jesus Christ. I mean, okay, to be fair though, like Astral Pack 8 and we're at like very late 2015. So cool.
Yeah, 23. There's 23 right now, I think. 24.
That's a lot.
Oh, never mind. There's even more. This is from 2023. Let's see. Just to be safe, there is 27, and the next one will be released in February, at the end of February.
Is it like every other month or something? How
Ah,
frequent are these?
no, like 4 months apart at least.
Oh.
Last one was in October. The previous one was in June, so
I
four
mean,
months.
guess you know what? I guess we are in late 2015 and it is 2025 now. So happy New Year, everyone! We're now
Happy New Year.
officially in 2025. This is the first episode that we're actually recording in the new year. So, but Dimension of Chaos. Anything you want to say about the set? Any
So I was
thoughts?
talking about this with Cloudy when I when we like were making the deck that I ended up making, which
Mm-hmm.
I've actually played in real life. It's another one of those.
Yippee!
EP. It's one of the few decks that I've actually sold onwards because of the people that I knew wanted to play the deck as well.
Oh, cool.
I have hard bricked with this deck, unfortunately, so I will simply set one card and pass.
Neato.
Uh, so Dimension of Chaos is a set where I was like paying a lot of attention to the game. Like Cloudy pointed out, this is like the set that he was paying the most attention to, pretty much, because he really liked RDA, he liked Resonators and all that. Like this was at the height of when we were playing the game.
Yeah.
You can add, yeah, you can add.
Yeah. During the end phase, I will add a Majespecter card to my hand. But that is all I will do for now.
You too?
I don't think I care enough to find out what that is. Maybe you're cheating and it's a Pot of the Forbidden. That would be funny.
Oh,
But yeah, I will go to end phase and add a card to my hand. If that is okay by you?
go for it, bro. Go for it.
And I think we will get a Raccoon Bun Buku. And back to you.
Well, I'll start off by blindly firing this MST.
Sure, it is a Tempest.
Ah, interesting, interesting. Flip some Fluffle Cat.
Ooh, sure thing.
Oh, okay.
First time in history when a Fluffle Cat can beat over something.
Yeah, I'm gonna swing over the Nekomata. Just do it.
Yeah, I mean, I might as well do this here, so we will banish the cat.
Okay, okay. That is fine.
And this will go to my extra deck.
That is definitely not fine, but that is fine. That is acceptable. This is an accepted game state.
Oh, I thought my deck, not my deck. I thought my hand was bad, but that and not even summoning anything afterwards tells me that I think like you're even worse for wear than I am. But we will start by normaling the raccoon that I added earlier, and we will grab another card. And honestly,
this is weird. Why is Bumbuku worded like this?
I don't know, but I'm looking at my deck, and the 3 Pot of Greeds were like literally all 3 next to each other, which is pretty funny. It would have been like 3 turns of drawing Pot of Greed, Pot of Greed, Pot of Greed.
Well, it would have been one turn, right?
I mean, yeah, obviously.
Potted and then drawn 2 pots.
It would have been really fun to Pot of Greed into 2 more Pot of Greeds. And honestly, I think
I legitimately think this has to be one of the most impressive hands I could have drawn. Holy shit!
I'm excited to hear what it was. I guess we'll grab a Yada to hand so we can Yada lock you next turn. Because that's
so. Just for reference,
yeah.
I have 1 Mystical Space Typhoon in my deck.
Yeah, and that is in your grave now.
Yeah, I have 1 Monster Reborn in my deck. Yeah.
And
I have 1 Frightfur Factor in my deck.
Oh no.
Cards that do nothing unless I have setup.
That is actually unfortunate. But what is more unfortunate, I will punch you for a whole ass 1200.
I'm dead.
Thingy-majiggy.
I'm in the grave.
And then we will set some more cards and pass it back to you.
Oh yeah, Pot of Greed.
Oh shit.
If you're gonna
Go for
negate
it.
this, I would highly ill advise against that because whatever else I.
No, go for it, man.
How the fuck?
I'll be honest, I don't know anything about like Fluffles or Frightfurs other than the theme. The theme is neat, but I literally know nothing about it. Well. Okay, so at least one of those is baloney. And we both know it. Well, I would also like the pot.
You go ahead, buddy.
Into another pot? Sadly not. Sadly, no. I'm not really getting my pendulum switches an issue, but let's fire off this Majespecter.
Yep.
And then I don't
Honestly,
know if I want to
tribute
do-
Bumbuku, summon Bumbuku, search for whatever. Get scales. Go ham.
I'm thinking of. What is this achieve? Is the question. And honestly, I think, because I don't know what your set is, I think I would rather do this first. So we will tribute off this Bumbuku, if that is okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I would like to grab another one. Is someone okay?
That is okay.
Yep. And then that will search for a Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Where are you?
Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Where are you?
I guess we'll go for a cat. Yeah, we'll go for cat.
Yeah.
Who has no hat, unfortunately.
Special summon it. Oh wait, no. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, that's the Bumbuga special. That would be pretty scary.
It's time to go ham for some scales.
Yippee! Unfortunately, Bumbuka we've already used, but I still think I might as well fire these off. So we will activate 2 scales.
Yippee.
And I would like to declare a pendulum summon. And I would like to summon out the 2 things from my extra deck. Bumbuka no effect because it's a once per turn, and then end phase I will grab Nekomata thingy. And now the question is, and the answer is yes. Oh, my mind's telling me no.
Can't wait to Blazing Mirror Force this game.
My body is telling me yeah. Oh shit. I will go. Will I? I will not. I will tribute off.
Yep.
Cat.
And Bumbuku. For part of the forbid.
For Kieran. It would have been.
You're so cringe.
I know. I'm sorry. It would have been so cool. Battle phase.
Yep.
And this is where I got hit with the mirror force. Oh, sabers. And then yeah, I would like to go these 2 directly. And main 2. Already used that. That's either player's turn. So we'll just go end phase and Nekomata effect. Nekomata? It is Nekomata. Wait. Swag.
Bumbuku Nekomata Yata.
Yippee. I will go for a Majespecter Cyclone. And throw it back.
Pot of green.
You're a bastard, but that is fine.
Fluffle dog.
What the fuck?
Search sure, I do things.
Yep, that is fine.
Edging Sabers
Orpha. I think. Wait, I swear that's
So-
the first time I've ever heard like a specific card or something else.
Polymerization and a fluffle is a thing that exists, for example.
Oh
But,
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Bear.
Fluffle bear. I discard bear to search from my deck a card. Is this okay? I would assume it's okay because I don't think you have Called by the Grave, and I don't think. Do they have an Omni game?
Yeah,
do
go for
have-
it. Oh, I don't.
Yep.
Think at this point it's like they have
Just
all
spelled
the negates, but it's all like different things.
Activate
Okay,
this
you can
thing.
discard one card,
So I discard one, I draw one. If it's a fluffle, I summon it, and if it's not, I discard it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
So
fine.
then I would actually like to activate its effect because I needed to set it and then activate it.
Yep.
Now I'm going to activate it. I'm going to discard from my hand a Fluffle Wings. I'm going to draw a card, and it is this card, which is not a Fluffle card, and I shall discard this card. And then I shall activate the effect of Fluffle Wings to banish it and another Fluffle card from my graveyard.
Isn't it easier just to mail forward to a vendor?
Yeah, I'll just do that.
But yeah,
But yeah,
I,
I will activate
believe
Wings.
you didn't lie and want to put Frightfur March into your grave.
I draw one,
Yep.
and then I can send Toy Vendor to the graveyard and draw a second one. So I draw two.
Yep.
And then I activate the effect of Toy Vendor. I can add from my deck to my hand a Jeexx Sabers or a Fluffle monster. I would like to add to my hand a Fluffle card. That is going to be which one in this case? I mean, honestly, I should probably just add Bear.
Have edge still. Okay, so Bear is the only card I know in your hand.
Correct. Then activate Pot of Greed. Draw two.
Jesus Christ!
The fuck is happening?
3 Pot of Greeds already, and your hand is ass?
Oh! How is this so fucking difficult?
Special summon
I'm
something,
gonna-
activate double summon, and just tribute both for Pot of the Forbidden. Fuck it.
I'm gonna activate Frightfur Fusion. I'm going to banish materials for a Frightfur Fusion monster. Is this okay?
Yes, sir.
Banish
wait.
dog.
Yes,
Okay.
actually, yes, wait. Ah, sure, fuck it. I don't know how it works, but sure. I still have Kirin.
You
If
can
it's
just
something, if
activate
it's
it
something
on-
that fucks up Kirin, then whatever, man.
I assure you, if I had something that would fuck Kirin up, I would most definitely fuck Kirin up.
Wasn't this card banned for like years?
It was limited, and I don't remember it getting banned.
So
This will activate regardless of what happens, but as you're probably aware, you know, these cards have things on them. Oh yeah, on the activation, yeah, that is fine. Which one are you tributing?
my Kirin, of course. No, I'll go for this.
Oh yeah, and then, I would like to activate. Can this even attack? Can in fact attack. This is too big. Get rid of this thing.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Thank you. I would like to activate a Shuffle Reborn to summon back my Frightfur Tiger.
This card actually getting used out of
I
not
would
just
like to
being there
summon
for
it.
the reborn name.
I would like to summon it. Is this okay?
This is on fusion summon the destruction, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This also negates all the effects, so it doesn't gain the
Oh
steroids
yeah,
that I would like to have. So.
wouldn't even work. Yeah, do you just get the song? Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, okay. I summon it back. Then it goes to the graveyard. Then I activate the second effect of Fusion Void.
Alright.
I'm banishing it and I'm shuffling my tiger back into the deck to draw one card.
That's kind of OD. I'll give it up.
Yeah, is it okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine with that.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Dude, you're halfway through your deck. What is going on?
So I have
That has to be like the worst draws ever. That was 17 fucking cards.
I have this card in my deck. It's called the Polymerization. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's a pretty good card. Like
Yeah,
it does a lot of good stuff, right?
Yeah, I think it like summons some like purple shit or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. It's pivotal to the functionality of the deck.
I think
And I didn't draw. I have
think
3
it's-
of them.
I was just gonna say, I think it's so fucking ironic that in your like first 13 cards, you went through all 3 of your pot of greens, which obviously gets you way deeper into your deck. But then the cards to actually make plays for you with those 3 pot of greens you didn't see in your first half of your deck, which is pretty hilarious.
Kill me now. know what?
Fucking lucky, as we say in the industry.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm good to go.
Yeah, I didn't.
This
you know,
had to be one of the worst pot of greed.
Actually, wait. Never mind. I'm doing this. If this
Okay.
interaction happens, it would be so fucking cool.
Do whatever the fuck you want, bro. I ain't stopping you.
I can see that because that was slightly unfortunate. Oh wait. You're. I thought I was just for playing 43 cards. You're playing 44. Jeez. Okay.
Summon it, then I banish this, and then I banish this, and I pop this, and I draw 2, then I search for a fluffle card, and I would like to search for a dog. Is it a dog?
Why did you turn Russian?
I think it must be a dog that I want to summon. Yes, yes. But it is in fact not the dog. I would like to search for Fluffle Owl.
Comrade,
Then
it is essential that we are playing
Comrade.
Fluffles the proper way, my friend.
Fluffles are very difficult to master. You do not understand the comrade.
You can add polymerization.
I add polymerization
I would like to
my
ash
hand.
this.
No, fuck you. It's actually doesn't even matter. Actually, does matter because you can only use one. Not even fucking hell, bro. Then I would like to
Pay money, Wubby.
pay money. Kill me now. Kill me, brother. Brother, hurt me.
Shout out to my hand for being ass.
You go, bro. You go.
bro.
Fuck. I'm just gonna go into polymerize my wings and my Agium chain to summon out a
That's a whole ass fucking chair.
and then
You can add it.
gonna
What
gonna
that
add a
is
5
terrible.
card.
Bro, release this sheep from the pain that is existence. Jesus
No.
Christ.
I'm gonna add a Frightfur card, and that Frightfur card will actually just be fucking Fight for Fusion, and then I
All right. Pot of greed.
do whatever the fuck you want, bro. I ain't done nothing.
Yippee! I will say though, my hand is not really what I want to have. But we can hit the gritty. Does this matter? Oh. I would like to activate. Would I?
Oh yeah, Kieran was in fact banned for 7 years. Holy shit, I fucking forgot.
Huh.
Didn't play the game like at all between that time.
That's a long. That's a long ass time to be banned.
It stopped around when it got banned.
Shibal. Actually, can we? Fuck it. I'll activate
Yeah,
eccentric
yeah,
as the right skill. I would activate
yeah,
last pendulum.
yeah.
I would
And you
like
pop.
to pop. Put this in the skibby bobby boppo. And add
Yeah.
another one with the same name to my Zahando. Then I would like to activate I don't even need to do that. We'll go Bomboku normal summon, if that's okay.
Bomboku into search for scale, summon bullshit.
Yeah, and we will grab Nekomata. We will scale Nekomata. I would like to declare a pendulum summon. And I would like to summon out this Archfiend Eccentric. Wait, I'm the dumbest asshole on this planet. Fuck!
It's 2 to 5. No kidding for you.
Yeah, I know. That is not the issue. The issue is that I'm fucking stupid. And basically...
Based.
Shit. Yeah, I think that is that. Now the issue here is
eccentric pop and
why did I do this? I didn't need to do this. Yeah, I mean I did like 3 different stupid things. I guess we will go for this was battle or
everything other than sending or vanishing. It gets destroyed.
That's cool. That's cool. We will go for a overlay.
Yep.
With these 2, go for trapeze.
Trapezio.
Yes, now we are Italian. You know, the pasta need to be boiled proper. Anyway, moving on. Moving right along.
Moving on. That did not happen.
Sure. You don't want to hear my German accent.
No. We don't want to start more beef with the Germans.
I'm single-handedly beefing with the entire nation of Germany. Let me read what my card does. You can do this one from this card target. We would do that turn place can drop that punch.
You can pop my Frightfur sheep if you want with its effect instead of just running over it. But you can also give Trapeze Magician the ability to swing twice and deal big damage.
It's other than this card.
Oh, it's other than this card. Lamel, this card is so shit.
But when if it's destroyed by balance at the graveyard, or if this card in possession is destroyed by this graveyard, you prepare for example, you can special summon a performance monster from the deck.
It's pretty good. So what I would recommend you do is you kill
this, and then I pop this with eccentric.
Based.
Cause
I was gonna suggest you pop it with the eccentric first, and then you swing Trapeze Magician into it, and then you get the special summon. Because that's what you wanted to do, right? You want the special summon?
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do that, but I do appreciate the sentiment. We'll start with a raccoon
Yeah.
for 200 points of
No,
damage.
how can this
Happen
Yeah.
to me.
500, and then I get back out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then we do main 2. We do this.
Yep.
And I set a card in yeah, I was gonna say Nekomata, but yeah, I scaled Nekomata. I didn't summon it, so yeah.
But agreed.
You're a bastard.
Doroto.
I'd rather you not.
Monster Born.
You're a bastard.
Targeting Fluffalow.
Yep. Go right along, buddy boy.
Adding Fluffalow. To my hand a polymerization, if this is okay.
That is okay. So I know Frightful Fusion and Poly in your hand.
Yes, yes, you do. You do, in fact, know these cards. Okay, and then normal summon. Okay, Fluffle Dog. Activate the effect of Fluffle Dog.
What the dog doing?
The dog adding
That is
a
okay.
Ancient Sabers or Fluffle to my hand. I add, in this case, a Toy Bear. I discard the Toy Bear to search for a vendor. I actually it sets the vendor. Yeah, I set the vendor. Then I activate the effect of Fluffle Wings to banish wings. Actually, before I even do that, I need to consider my move before this. I would like to activate the effect of Toy Vendor, discarding to my graveyard Shuffle Reborn, then drawing a card. And if it is a Fluffle card, I add it to my special summon. It is not. It can summon sheep out instantly. That's very good. Very good card.
Seems pretty good.
And then, of course, I do the Banish Wing, Banish Bear, Pop Vendor, draw 2, search for Fluffle.
Bro, I only have 3 pot of greeds.
Yeah.
Jeexx, how come mom lets you have 2 pot of greeds?
I add a cat to my hand. I activate Pot of Greed to draw 2 cards.
For 22 turns, 24 cards deep is pretty good.
Yep. That is fairly acceptable as an amount of cards that you could have. Then I guess I'll activate polymerization to fuse off a. Oh, is this okay actually? Before I do anything,
Yeah, Poly is perfectly fine. I mean,
fuse
not
off Agent
fine,
Sabers,
but nothing I can do.
Fluffle Cat, Fluffle Owl. For
Jeez
a
Louise.
Frightfur Tiger. And then,
Yeah.
and if it's the board, I get to destroy up to 3 cards. Is this okay?
It is fine.
Oh, so I get to activate Fluffle Cat as well, so I can chain block it too, so you can't even. Yeah.
If I win stuff, then you could chain block with that, but even if you don't.
No. Frightfur Tiger hits board, and Fluffle Cat, both of them trigger at the same time. I activate Tiger first, and then I chain Cat. And now my chain link 2 is Cat, so even if you had a thing that said if a monster effect is activated or a monster is summoned, or you can't even negate the summon at this point because it's not inherent.
Yeah, someone
But
can, but yeah.
You would be negating the Cat instead of the Tiger if you would be activating the thing that negates a monster effect, for example. So this is okay.
Yep, it is fine. Either way.
Cat allows me to re-add polymerization to my hand. And then I would like to pop Nekomata, the set, Peace Magician. Yeah, I think that's fine.
Sure thing. How much is this? Use the normal.
It
Use
has
that.
okay. 2,500. Okay. I win if you don't stop me here.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of swings. I'm thinking about one other thing, but I get this is a special out, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll just do this on the Tiger.
Okay.
Because the boost is way too much.
Yep.
So
that
that
is okay.
means when everything solves, these happen, these happen, these happen, these happen, and I get a performance out if that is okay.
Go. Go ham, buddy. Wait, why did Bumbuku die?
Oh,
Oh,
it's a
'cause it's
tribute, they
the- yeah,
went,
tribute,
so
yeah.
I can do it on the Trapeze Magician. It is the only valid target I have.
Oh, and yeah, even if you did tribute it, you wouldn't get the search or something.
Yeah.
Yep. That is fine.
I guess. Actually. Yeah, we'll go for, just in case there's some shenanigans, we'll go for a plush fire.
Okay. Then I would like to activate Frightfur Fusion, banishing Sheep, Owl, and Chain to summon out a Sabertooth, which allows me to then special summon a Frightfur monster from my graveyard.
Yep.
I shall summon out Tiger.
Yep.
And then I would like to activate Polymerization from my hand.
Yep.
And then I will fusion summon using Aegim Sabers and Fluffle Wings and Fluffle Owl. And double checking Fluffle Dog, a 5-year wolf, which can attack 4 times. And
Yep.
it has. This has. They all gain 900 from Tiger, then they gain another 400 from Sabertooth. So it is 3,300. And this is 3,700. And this is 3.2. Yep. And then I would like to start swinging. I will attack using Tiger first.
Yep. This one is destroyed. I get to summon out a something else than plush fire.
Yep.
And we will grab. I don't think it matters, but well, can this site work so I can read my card, please? So I can ensure this works, bro. This brother. To go here. Dude, why do I need to make surgery? It does. It's this, and then and then that. I don't think. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, then I would rather not give you the intel, and we'll just go for a damage juggler. Yep.
Swing into with this, and then swing with this 4 times.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do I have anything that I want to do? I guess guess I'll get rid of the meme.
The meme.
Yes.
The memes. The DNA of the soul.
They are indeed that.
Yeah, whatever. I'll just go with this.
This and
But yeah, that's what fluffles do.
Yep.
Ignoring the pot of greeds, like even just
ignoring the
fucking-
fact that in 2 turns I went 25 cards into my deck.
Yeah, ignoring the pot of greeds, I also essentially have like a fucking fuck ton of searches. Toy vendor isn't once per hard once per turn. By the way. So if I have toy vendor, I can just keep popping it with other stuff. Wings is fortunately hard once per turn. So
hey, I finally get to go first with my control deck. Yippee!
Yahoo!
Well, could have been worse, but it is not the greatest, but it is still fine. Might as well do that. We'll fire off a... Do we? Yeah, we'll fire off a Luster Pendulum. And then also a QB.
Yep.
We will pop the QB to add in the QB.
Yep. I wonder why this Luster Pendulum guy was limited for so long. He doesn't seem that good. He only pops a scale, you know. It's kind of weak, ain't it, guys?
Yeah, it's pretty bad, I would say. We'll scale the new QB. Would like to Pendulum Summon.
Go ham.
We'll go for this QB as well as Yada. I would like to add a spell and a trap.
Yeah, go ham.
We will go for a Majesty's Pegasus for the spell, and we'll go for Tempest for the trap.
Yep.
Then I would like to overlay these two and summon out a Jester Paladin.
What the fuck is this? I've never seen this card in my life.
It's not bad.
Neato.
That okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't think I'm gonna be failing it.
You never know. And then
and if I had rolled you earlier, it would have been, you know,
yeah,
would have to be before you summon this.
We'll grab a during the end phase a Pendulum Monster. And we will set 2 cards, and I think then we'll go to set and face and add a Pendulum card to our hand, and I guess I'll go for Raccoon.
Bumbuku.
And back to you.
Okay. I'm gonna start off by saying that you have a turtle. I'm going to tribute your Magister Paladin and then special summon Gameciel to your side of the field. It is not an effect. You cannot chain anything to it.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking of... Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
So this will go here. And I will get the Gameciel.
You now have a Tutel.
Yippee.
I activate Toy Vendor.
Yep.
I would like to discard Fluffle Wings to
We've
draw
done
1 card.
this a few times.
Yep. Now I would like to activate Pot of Greed to draw 2.
You've been so lucky with those Pot of Greeds, I will say that.
Yep. A little too lucky, I must admit.
It's almost as if you get one, the chances of you getting another one
it's fairly high,
substantially.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then polymerization into a Frightfur sheep in this case. Yep. And banish vendor and banish banish wings, and I think I can banish wings with wings. Yeah, I can banish 2 wings, pop a vendor, draw 2, and search for a Fluffle card from my deck. I would like to search for a. I don't think I want this guy. I don't think I want that guy either, really.
Anything
I
your heart
can
desires.
use this. I can probably use this fairly well. Yeah. Just double checking it's Edging Sabers or Fluffle. Yeah. So I would like to add Fluffle Dog.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then I would like to activate the effect of Edge Imp Sabers by placing a card from my hand on the top of my deck, which will be this thing. I would like to special summon it.
Yep.
And then I would like to normal summon Fluffle Owl and use its effect to add another polymerization from my deck to my hand.
Yes, sir.
I shall do that. Then I would like to activate the effect of polymerization to fuse off Frightfur Sheep and Fluffle Dog for a, and mayhaps even Edge Imp Sabers for a Frightfur Sabertooth, which cannot be destroyed by effects or by battle, as long as it has been summoned using 3 or more materials. And then
Seems pretty good.
I would like to activate its second effect, or first effect, I guess, to summon Frightfur Sheep. And then Monster Reborn to summon out Fluffle Dog, and Fluffle Dog effect to add to my, before that, this, to add to my hand a Fluffle or Edge Imp Sabers.
But did you not use dog the first time?
I didn't summon it. I summoned Owl, I'm pretty sure. Double check, and yeah.
Okay.
I used Dog from my hand just
Oh
now.
yeah, it
as
was the poly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then I would like to add to my hand a Fluffle Bear. And then I'm gonna lose here, but I'm just gonna go ham. I'm just gonna do it because this is what my deck does. So if I lose here, it's whatever.
That's fair.
Yeah. Swing into Gameciel using Sabertooth. So Blazing Mirror Force.
I don't have Blazing Mirror Force, but I do have Storming Mirror Force, which I'm trying to flip up right now, which would return all your attack position monsters back to the hand, if the side wants to work.
What is this? Oh yeah, this came out, yeah. That is actually okay.
He's not the worst.
Like, all things considered, that is like probably the best outcome I could have got from this.
Yeah, I mean, it,
'Cause Blazing
it makes
is-
me not explode, so it's
Yeah.
neat for me still. But yeah, Blazing would have been better, but...
Because Blazing just kills the weenies that I had on board, and then on top of that, it also deals damage to me that I can lose immediately.
Although, how do pendulums work with Xyz as materials? I'm just now realizing that I have them.
They
in my
go
graveyard.
to the graveyard.
Okay,
They go
yeah.
to the graveyard. That is
Just
how
making
it's intended to
sure.
happen.
Then I will normal summon a Boombookoo.
Yep.
I will add to my hand. Honestly,
Oh wait, I just realized it's special one monster from your hand, not the card you do. Okay, that's
which
way better
one?
than I remembered. For Toy Vendor. I
Oh,
was
yeah,
thinking like,
Vendor.
wait, that's not.
Yeah, gotcha.
Because like there was a really good aspect to it, like quote unquote really good for Fluffles. Because if you happen to draw any Fluffle, you can just go into Dog or Owl and get stuff from it, and then normal some the other.
Yeah. I will go for QB, I think.
Yeah.
And then I would like to declare a Pendulum Summon.
Yep.
And summon out said QB. And grab a trap to my hand, which would be a Tempest.
Okay.
Please. Thank you. Then. Hey, I'm just now realizing. Fuck. Well, I fucked up. I forgot I could have added QB with Luster and then added Yada with the Bumpako, but I fucked up. 15, 18, 22. So what is that? 5,500? Main 2, I will set, and I will set, and that'll
Big
be
money, no whammies.
all she actually. Yeah, that's fine.
Did I add a Gym Sabers using a Gym Chain?
I do not remember.
Oh. Well, that's unfortunate. Discard Bear for Vendor.
Yep,
Okay, that's okay.
that is fine.
Okay. Set Vendor. Activate Vendor. Vendor effect. Discard a card from my hand. Draw a card. And if it is a Fluffle, which it happens to be, I get to special summon a card from my hand. I would like to summon Doog. And then activate Doog effect.
Dog getting special summoned. I would like to Tempest.
You cannot Tempest the special summon. You can Tempest the activation of the effect.
Okay, well, I mean, it's the same result, but yeah. I would like you not to add stuff.
Yeah. And then I would like to normal summon Fluffle Owl to add to my hand a polymerization.
Yeah. So
that is okay.
And Cat and Polly are your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Then activating the effect of a Gym Sabers, place a card on the top of my deck to special summon
the cat.
To special summon a Gym Sabers.
Yep.
That is okay.
That. Okay, how is this? I think I sent the. If it is sent to the graveyard, which you can do with. This.
Tiger.
This doesn't you can trigger Poly. This sends Poly back. This is used. Send from. Yeah, this is a hard once per turn. Choose a monster from your hand or field. It's a 50-50, but no, that's fine. I don't want to play the 50-50. I'm guessing Poly is in your hand, but
Poly.
yeah.
Then
should have done it, but.
And summon out Tiger using 2 materials, and I would like to pop my Toy Vendor and something else. Yeah.
Yep.
And that is Gigi's.
There's
There's nothing else that can be done at this stage.
Yep, because I was gonna say, assuming I draw a monster, but no, because I have my pendulum, so.
Yeah.
Yep.
See? It's kind of, these things are kind of broke.
I know. It just, like I said, it's the first time that I've played a pendulum deck, so I tend to forget some things. And even now, Luster I should have used Luster for QB to have a Cyclone in my hand instead of adding the other QB, and it would have cycled one more card from my deck. But honestly, pretty solid match all around. That Mirror Force definitely saved my ass 100%.
That was quite fortunate, but I knew coming into this that Mirror Force was in the sand, and I just said, fuck it, I can't do shit about it if he does anything that bounces my shit. But I figured, well, I'm just gonna make this piece of shit with 3 mats, so at least he stays on the board, but then storming hit.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is fair. I only sided into that for this third game. I didn't have it in the second one.
That is fair.
But here is what everything looked like. The only thing I think I sided in what I was talking about as the meme in the second game was 1 Gamma Seal for my Pot of the Forbidden. Because obviously with Kirin, summon Gamma Seal for your opponent, bounce that and Kieran, and that way you have every turn you have a Gamma Seal shit, as long as you can summon out Kieran.
I don't think that's memes. I think that's a legitimate strategy.
It's very good, but it just like I
Yeah.
thought it was just funny.
Like
But
the reason why I was running Gamma Seal is because like I have removal, but what happens if there's a monster on board that can respond to me using 3 to 5 cards from my hand to summon out a single card to pop a card?
yeah, and like Gamma Seal
So-
is the one way for you to deal with Kieran.
Yeah, I just pop Kieran using this, and it happened to be like, well, honestly, like the tornadoes and everything else as well. Like the fact that it worked out where I could just tribute this fucking guy for Gamma Seal after you made two. Like I was legitimately thinking, fuck, I can't play through this. If I cannot play through the single negate that you have on board as long as you have like two of them on board, like
Yeah.
two monsters on board, and then you made the XYZ, and I was baffled because I was like, I ain't fucking seen this before, but now I can kill it.
Yeah, I didn't have
bleed.
for that, like I didn't have any of my like traps, so which is why
Yeah.
I went for it instead. But it's neat. It's nothing crazy, but the fact that you can add you like any pendulum is nice because it gives me to the like Perform Mage package as well, and lets me like grab something like Archfiend Eccentric if I need it as well, which honestly here is mostly nice just because it gives me a big scale, because like without it I actually can't go into Kieran unless I tribute summon, which more often than not I would like not to do. But
Yeah.
the only thing I'm like kind of disappointed was like not getting to do Kieran shenanigans, but overall solid match, I think. Apart from like the first
The
two
first
games
game?
basically being just first game you just heartbreaking, second me just heartbreaking, but at least in the second one like you got to do stuff.
Yeah, I got to run my poker, not poker, solitaire.
Yeah.
Which this deck is quite solitaire heavy. You just keep drawing, you keep searching. Like the reason I was playing Shuffle Reborn was for Monster Reborn, but there is also the fact that it can be a last ditch effort because I'm playing an all-in deck, right? I'm gonna go all in using Shuffle Reborn by using it to maybe get a material and then using another card on board to shuffle back to draw one and hope I get like an out or hope I get an extension. And the fact that I didn't get a single polymerization the first game, even doing that, really hurt. Because guess what? My hand, sick, actually fucking insane. One problem: I used my normal summon, and I don't have a polymerization in hand. If I have a polymerization in hand, I'm likely to win.
Yeah. And as we saw when you got a few pot of greens going and didn't completely break your draws, like the chance of that actually statistically pretty high.
Yeah. Like this deck is like the reason why I'm playing 44 cards is because I've first off almost the entirety of Fluffles not in the set. Like I had to grab so many cards.
Yeah,
through
to
legacy
go like
rulings.
22.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I
that
feel
I
that.
could like fit everything, including pot of greens.
Yeah.
The thing is, because of Wings being in this set, Wings mentions Toy Vendor, and because Toy Vendor is in the set and it mentions Edgem Sabers, then by definition, Toy Vendor and Edgem Sabers are both in the set.
Wait, was Toy Vendor also in the set?
Because of Fluffle Wings mentioning it, it is in the set.
Cause wait,
Because
wasn't
that's
this
the way that we ruled it.
Wait, I
remember?
thought we literally like talked about like okay, but other things that give you things then don't give you further things anymore.
So Infernity Archfiend, like if you get Archfiends and you get Infernity Archfiend from that, it doesn't mean you get Infernities. But if you have a card in the set, which by definition Fluffle Wings isn't the not Fluffle Wings, Toy Vendor isn't the set by the definition of mentioning Fluffle Wings mentioning it, it means that Toy Vendor mentioning Edgem Sabers means that it is in the set.
Okay, that is not how I thought it worked, but I guess because it's such a specific case that will come up super rarely. I will not even like going forward. I will not remember that, but I guess that's fine. But that's not
Like
how
we
I
talked
intended it. But it's fine. It's whatever.
Like we talked about how, for example, like I don't remember which set it was, but it was fairly recent as well, where we were talking about a specific card being mentioned by another card, and I said, "Oh, this is in the set because it's directly mentioned by the card."
Yeah.
Not like it's got legacy support for this card because it mentions the card, but rather it is straight up just in the set.
Yeah,
No, that's how
I do know that. It's just like I mean I don't know if it like comes up. Basically like the way why I didn't think about that was, well, because it is such a specific case and doesn't really come up. But if they're like, if when we get close to Modern Yu-Gi-Oh and they actually like print something that mentions everything, then maybe it becomes a problem, because then it means like, okay, if you have one of these cards that mentions another one and all of them mention each other, then that just results in you always having access to the entire archetype, which when it would be a problem. And I guess like that being in the back of my mind was like why I didn't intend for it to be this way. But like I said, like it's such a specific case that it shouldn't matter. So
like the difference between this and most other interactions is that most other interactions say the archetype name always. But like Agent Sabers was the
card and then the archetype.
Yeah, like that's the weird part about this. Like originally I was like, fuck, I can't even fit Toy Vendor in because it's not in the set. But then I remember the part about where Toy Vendor is mentioned in the set itself, therefore it is in the set. And then by the logic of being in the set, anything that is mentioned in its text is in the set.
Yeah, I think this is fine for now, and I'm fine with this because I won. But if I lost, I would have called you a dirty cheater. So
I think this is the only deck where it should ever come up.
That's the thing why I didn't like even think about it like being a thing. I was like, okay, maybe if something happens in the future where they release something, then. But I literally didn't even consider it because it's such a specific thing.
Yeah, like. Not even in the archetype, like Dog mentions it, but like for example, I wouldn't argue that Dog gives you access to Agent Sabers in the set. Like Dog is not in the set. Dog is in the set through legacy support, and it mentions Agent Sabers, but it doesn't mean that Agent Sabers is in the set because Dog mentions it.
Dog, it comes from like it gets complicated.
Yeah, it's really confusing, but like.
It's complicated when we explain it, but it makes sense.
It's intuitive. Yeah. Like when you're doing it, it's intuitive where it's like, okay, so like this is the least intuitive thing that we added. And this is because it's the first thing that we added in the whole thing that we could technically re-rule entirely. But the way that it was originally worded was just, these are in the set. We can play these cards as if they were in the set.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the loophole that I'm using here, where it's not like these are included through legacy support. That's me being cheeky, and then we just codified it kind of.
Yeah, I mean,
last time I did this.
It's all good. It's all good because it's all good only because I won. If I lost, I would have called you a cheater and been like, "Yep, this doesn't count." Whoever's counting the records, like, stop the count, recount it. I will. I literally had to pause, and I realized when I looked at the fucking calendar, it's January 6th.
It's despair-inducing, isn't it, rough? But on a wholly different note, this deck is, as you saw, it's a fairly bricky deck. But when it does get its essentially 2-card like combo, which is Wings and Bear, you have insane draw power, and it kind of just loops into itself.
It's kind of funny that it's like, hey, as you can see, it's kind of a bricky deck, and the whole point, you just go all in and punch your opponent for 1,000,000 damage. Sounds like Galaxy Eyes.
Yep.
I can.
It's also Heroes, by the way, but Heroes at least have plays.
Yeah, you also have Dark Law, who is racist, so, you know.
Huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
Read about the lore. Dark Law is racist.
Okay. I'm not gonna read about the lore, nor am I gonna confirm or deny any allegations towards Dark Law.
Literally, it would have been fine if you just didn't say the second part. But yeah,
I don't know. I feel like this set was overall fairly strong. And, like, obviously, it has pot of greed in it for us, which means that it is by the metric of having the strongest draw spell in the game in it. It is super fast. It's not that breaky, but we're also allowed. I mean, Graceful Charity has the issue of not being a plus. Like, Graceful Charity is a better card in modern Yu-Gi-Oh because of the way the cards interact with it. But Pot of Greed on its own is a better card than Graceful Charity. Because if I was playing Graceful Charity in my Fluffles, I would be just shooting myself in the foot every time I play it. Because I'm not likely to get anything from it. But with Pot of Greed, I'm drawing 2 cards deeper into my deck, right? And I'm gaining a card every time I do it. And I'm playing a fusion archetype, so I'm already losing cards every time I fuse. I'm losing like 3 or more. So the idea that I get to +1 every time I play a spell is huge. That's also why the archetype is full of cards that say like banish a card from the graveyard, do a thing.
Yep.
So that you can actually have plays after you fuse and your opponent kills a fusion monster using bottomless trap hole, because that's gonna always happen because they're not immune to destruction. Yeah. Yeah, I love that. That's very fun. So cool. Great. Fucking ace, bro.
Was it one of them? Yeah, Sabertooth is.
Yep. Sabretooth if you summon it with 3 or more.
What?
That's the only one. And then technically sheep as well because sheep comes back, but sheep doesn't come back if you bottomless it. So like the Frightfur fusion card, this thing, it is a fairly good fusion spell. It's like it's like Miracle Fusion, right? The problem is this fucking guy wants you to keep your Frightfur fusions in the graveyard. So you're kind of incentivized to use Frightfur Fusion to summon this out or something on your next turn out. You polymerization into sheep, and now you have sheep on board. You have 2 cards in hand, and you have 2 fluffles. You have a fluffle and an edge imp card in your graveyard, and you're just crying because you can't summon Sabretooth using the 2 cards in the graveyard now. And if you use sheep, it gets banished, so you can't even summon it back using Sabretooth's effect, and it just kind of sucks. It's just really annoying. Later, they add a card that is actually fairly good that you can do after summoning like sheep, and it's called Kraken. Frightfur Kraken is probably, when that card comes out, it's probably going to be the next time I play Fluffles. Actually, Patchwork might be the next time I play, which is it searches a polymerization and Fluffle card. It's pretty good.
Sheep,
But,
wolf, tiger, Leo, bear, and a kraken.
Kraken, yeah. Kraken has the effect of it can attack twice, and when it battles, at the end of the battle phase, it goes into defense, and I can make you send a card from your field to the graveyard.
That's pretty good.
And that's like that effect, and being generic, like quote unquote generic for Fluffles and Edgimps. You can use any Edgimp and any Fluffle for it.
Oh,
It's
cool.
huge. That's
Yeah.
legitimately huge. Because like the only other one I think that has that is Wolf. Yeah, and Wolf sucks. The only reason why I used Wolf in the first game was because like I don't know how many cards you can get back on this. So I'm just gonna summon Wolf so I can swing as many times as possible and win.
Yeah. I only now realized that Sabertooth, wolf, and bear actually have, because the edge imp things like have the obviously menacing eyes there. Like you can see them on those 3. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. And also Leo Leo is the only one that has the uncensored artwork in here, which is kind of funny. Actually, I think Bear also has
I guess the subblades or something.
I mean, Saw is censored. All of them are censored, like normally. Like Wolf also has a Jimp Sabers censored on him, but Bear and Tiger and Leo are all uncensored. I think Sheep doesn't have any censors on it, but I'm not 100% sure.
Gotcha.
But yeah, like Sabretooth is quite evidently censored. It's got like fucking beam katanas coming out of its ass.
Yeah, instead of them being actual knives, like it's fucking laser swords now.
Laser beams. And that's a little weird, I'm not gonna lie. This is one of the I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense where you don't want little kids to be looking at stuffed animals with knives in them and scissors in them, but it's a weird bit of censorship, I think.
Do you like my Samurai Cavalry of Rep Tier 1 copy, by the way, to get access to Gaga Samurai? So I'll have actual, like, at least 5 playable cards in my extra deck.
That's kind of based, I'm not gonna lie. Now the question is, wait, how the fuck did you get Archfiend in this? Oh, wait, Eccentric isn't in the set either. Wait. Is there an Archfiend card in? Oh, there is. It's the cover card.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, you're not gonna believe this.
You're not gonna believe this.
But yeah.
I didn't fucking look at the cover. I completely forgot it exists.
Yeah. Because it wasn't, like, relevant for our... but yeah, it's literally the cover card.
I would have probably played this if I was playing DDD, like I was intending to. But DDD's had a massive hole in their game plan at this point still.
We'll still see DDD, and I get to redo my bits from the first anniversary episode. Looking forward to it. When the Infinity player takes his turn.
Do we get the DDD structure deck before the anniversary episode?
I don't think so, but I I can see because I do have the shells made all the way to the Link era. What was the name of it?
A mass pendulum domination. Pendulum domination.
Wait, is it? Oh well, no. The pendulum domination is 107, so it's unfortunately
You know,
pretty far.
can I ask that we do a thing for Master Pendulum?
Yeah.
Can we have Master Pendulum versus Pendulum Domination? Not like let's. I don't remember when Master Pendulum was happening, but I think it would be thematic to have Master Pendulum versus Pendulum Domination. The same way we're gonna have Yugi versus Kaiba.
Mm,
What do you think?
that would then. Oh, I need to rename like fucking 25 decks because that would
Do
then
you?
mean that True
Can you just
Drags would
move
be for it would
Emperor
be
of
Emperor
Darkness?
of Darkness and True
Yeah.
Drags because then those would be like way later. Which
Wait, no, we don't need to move like
no, I'd rather
Pendulum Domination.
if we do that, then at that point, like I'd rather like move it so both of the things are released, because otherwise I'll also like I feel like I'll also get mixed up.
Oh no, no, what I meant was like, can we move Pendulum Domination to be the one that? No, Master Pendulum to the Pendulum Domination episode, not Pendulum Domination to the Master Pendulum episode.
Oh yeah,
If that makes
but
sense.
that means then that would be
You
is
change
Pendulum
Emperor of Darkness.
Domination earlier than True Drag? Because
No, it's way later. That's what I mean.
okay,
Because
because
like,
then whenever that comes out, it would then be with that, and then whenever True Drag comes out, it would then be Emperor of Darkness against that, which I guess means then Emperor of Darkness would be way later.
I mean, we could
Is
just
it?
have Emperor of Darkness versus Rise of the True Dragons, because those are like back to back, and Master of Pendulum is right before Emperor of Darkness. Because like right now, I don't
Sure.
think Pendulum Domination has a quote unquote partner. Because like
Yeah,
the
for
next
me,
one after
it's
that
Pendulum
is
Domination and Rise of the True Dragos.
yeah. So I think it makes more sense to do Master Pendulum and Pendulum
You just
Domination
trying to
together.
get me to actually play a Pendulum deck.
Yeah, but also it's because the guy that plays DDDs is like Yuya's arguably main rival in Arc V, and we're gonna have Kaiba versus Yugi right before that, and then we're gonna have
What even is a massive pendulum?
it's Odd Ice. It's like it's got Odd Ice fusions and Odd Ice XYZs. It's actually
Oh,
pretty
okay.
fucking good.
I mean, I like
Like straight
autos.
up.
Autos is cool. We can
Yeah.
do that, but yeah, then like I'll just then that means that there'll be a longer period of time before we have the like next structure episode, because otherwise it would have literally been like not next time, but the time after that, after Breakers of Shadow. But like I'd rather do it that like whatever the matchup is, like it'll then be like both of those decks are released. So whatever the matchup is, then it'll be like both of them are released.
Oh
But
yeah.
I mean, it's still fine. We can then just do like Pendulum Dominus and Master of Pendulum, and then when Rise of True Dracos comes out, then it's Emperor of Dark with that. Because I think Emperor of Dark is the like modern
Monarchs.
monarchs, right? Yeah, and like that's a good deck. Like
It's a good deck, and it's also like it's fairly self-contained. It doesn't introduce any new cards for anything other than Monarchs,
yeah,
which means that we don't really like, unlike for like Rise of the True Dragons, which arguably contains cards that are staples for dragons. We won't have to like think about can we use these cards because they're from the structure we haven't done yet, yada yada yada. Like we
yeah.
did with
It
Light Swords.
most likely won't come up because like unlike the old times when you just like could splash monarchs to have just a good boss monster for an old school Yu-Gi-Oh deck, like the Dark Ruler and Light Ruler, not Dark Ruler, Light Ruler. Those are fucking the coin flip archetype cards. But whatever the like the monarchs for them are, like they actually want to be played in specifically a monarch deck. So that means Rise. Wait, is it? Yeah, Master Pendulum is here. Then is this, then Rise, and then Pendulum Domination is here. So, what was even. Rise of True Dragons was. Oh, it's Felgrand and stuff like that.
Yeah. You know what my least favorite part about this whole thing is?
Yeah?
Technically, Pendulum Domination, and Master Pendulum come out at the same time
In
in
Japan?
the OCG. Yeah. Well, not at the same time, but like back to back. In the OCG, they were like released next to each other. And True Dragons was like moved forward for the TCG because it contains Blue Eyes support. And Konami, from my understanding, has actually gone on record saying we wanted to give Blue Eyes a boost before Worlds. Like, motherfucker, why did you do this? Nobody asked
Oh,
for
the
this.
TCG is literally over a year different. Like, Pendulum Domination is 2017, and Master of Pendulum is 2015.
Yeah, like
That's pretty
it's
funny.
like DDDs didn't get any of the limelight they deserved because like a lot of the good cards the DDDs get in this were not like available anywhere else. Well, not just that, but like generally DDDs got shafted in the TCG. It's kind of unfortunate.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm looking at the Master of Pendulum structure. This deck seems like dog ass, but it has the
Sure
cool
was.
extra decks cards, so that's neat.
I,
But
I
we
think this deck is fairly good overall. Like you can do a lot with it.
cool. I mean, it's whatever. But yeah, we can move those. So does this change anything? It's these, then it'll be this which res the True Dragons. Then okay, yeah. So that basically means because it was 107 where I had planned this, right? Yeah. So it ends up being 107 should still be the same. And actually, no, it's gonna be earlier. But you get Kaibar before this, right? Yeah, they're in 2016. It has been like probably they're like really close to each other, but I think that's cool.
Okay.
That is
Hell
neat.
yeah.
But yeah, we can do that. I'll just have to remember to recalculate so I know the episodes and when everything will be. But that is a-okay.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I don't have anything else that I need to get out of my chest. I don't have a pod app for today, but I think that's fine. So, anything you want to say before we get out of here?
I was robbed.
Shut up. But yeah, oh yeah,
Oh, hey, Rob.
and so next time it is gonna be Breakers of Shadow.
Oh shit.
And we're
This is a good
less
set.
than 2 months from anniversary number 2, which is pretty cool.
Oh, I have a deck done already. What the fuck?
Oh, interesting. So you clearly know what
Yeah.
you're doing. I'm not sure yet. But
Yeah.
will
You want to know what we're gonna be seeing next week?
is it Cosmo now next week?
You could say that it feels okay, man. Feels good, man.
Interesting.
Feels bad, man.
Okay. Well, you and I both are gonna have to wait until next week to see what Jeexx has cooked up. But hopefully you enjoyed today's episode. Like I said one more time, Happy New Year 2025. We're gonna stop saying that now, but it just like it feels like it feels here just because it's the first actual episode that we've done in the year 2025. So
Yeah.
wishing all of you nothing but the best for this year. So we will see
Hell yeah.
you next time for Breakers of Shadow. Have a great day, y'all. And I was going to say something else, then I forgot what it was. So then I was going to go for just a piece. But then it came back, but then I forgot it again. And that's where the awkward pause came from. But now,
Thank you.
when I've done that meta speech, we can just get out of here. So thank you so very much for watching, and we'll see you next week. Peace.